Do you suffer from hereditary under-eye circles? Do you not get enough sleep? Do you have hormonal breakouts and dark spots? Well, I do, and I want to show you my tips and tricks on how I cover up all of these annoying ass issues and how I get an even skin tone while brightening my under eyes and covering up my breakouts and dark spots. So let's go. First step is primer, and I'm using a pore filler in areas where I have large pores and texture to prepare for foundation. So the key to under eye circles and covering up dark spots and blemishes is to use correctors. I'm using the Pixie by Pitra Brightening Peach Under Eye Corrector with my e.l.f. concealer brush to brighten up my under eyes. This is the first layer. I'm definitely going to go in with multiple layers in this video, so I do want to make sure that you know you have to use a light hand. You also have to use very little product so that you don't cake on the products. So the darkness around my eyes is real. I have to use a MAC Painterly paint pot with the same e.l.f. concealer brush on my eyelids to even out the skin. Make sure you use an eyelid primer if you do crease. More color correcting, I'm using the Full Coverage Liquid Concealer by Ulta, and this is in the shade Medium Cool, and I'm going to use this to further color correct. If you do have darker circles than mine, you do want to use something a little bit more orangey and deeper in tone. Using a light hand and the e.l.f. concealer brush, I'm going to blend all of that out. Next up is foundation. I'm using my favorite Full Coverage Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. I'm swiping that around the areas where I don't have any breakouts because I don't want to contaminate the whole bottle. Blending it out with the e.l.f. foundation brush. Now you want to work in layers, and if you feel like you need a little bit more coverage, just go in and add more after. I use tapping motions with the foundation brush and the concealer brush to make sure I blend out any creasing. Using my Born This Way concealer, I'm going to apply a small amount in the inner corner and blend it out. With every step, you want to make sure you're using a small amount of product so it doesn't look like it's caked on makeup. The next step I learned from Crystal, and she is Sea Flower here on YouTube. I will link her down below. I am using the MAC Studio Fix Potted Concealer to carve out and conceal my under eye bags. Like if you could see, the way that I'm using the brush, I'm outlining and then I am using the brush on its flat side to blend it out. So first you outline your under eye bags. I know it sounds really weird, and then you flatten it out with that brush. That's why this flat brush comes in handy. Now that I've concealed, I want to bring a little bit of light to my inner corners, so I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light Neutral and just applying that in my inner corner and slowly blending it out with my e.l.f. concealer brush. Now that I'm ready to set, I'm going to make sure that my under eye circles are all blended out because the concealer can settle there. With my Maybelline Fit Me powder in light medium and my Airspun powder in naturally neutral, I'm going to apply that with my e.l.f. highlighter brush. I'm also lightly tapping the areas around my nose and packing in the powder on my e.l.f. powder brush to make sure that I get like an airbrushed finish and a full coverage finish without disturbing the foundation underneath. Working in sections, I am going to blend out the concealer on my eyes and then set that also the same way I set my face and my under eye circles. Then lightly buff away all of the excess powder. To lock all of that in, I'm using my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist to set. And finally, this is the before and the after. I did film this look. If you guys do want to check that out, I'll link it down below and up in the cards. That concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please share it with your family and friends, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!